Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, the place where we try to be productive. So today I'm introducing my series that I'm very excited about called the LSAT Diaries. Basically, where I document studying for the LSAT from the very beginning to the very end, where I actually go in, take the LSAT, and hopefully get a good score. Don't have to take it again, because quite frankly, I don't have that kind of money. Today we're going to be talking about the materials I'm going to be using, the timeline that I have, and what you can expect from all of this. So let's just jump into it. I'm sorry, I gotta fix my hair. My hair is all I have left. First of all, let me just go in with some context about what I have attempted to do in the past. I haven't really attempted anything. Honestly, I kind of wanted to take the LSAT at the end of this month originally. I mean, I've been thinking about this since December, and I thought, I'll just study for the first 3 months of spring semester, first 2 or 3 months, and then, take it at the end of the semester so that if I do really badly, I can take it over the summer. I'm really glad that I didn't end up doing that, because then I would have had to take the LSAT online with my Chromebook, which would have been a disaster, to say the least. It wasn't a realistic timeline for me. I'm really focused, I was really focused on bringing my GPA up this semester, and, I could either focus really solidly on school and get good grades, and I was seeing results from that, but I couldn't focus on LSAT prep while doing that. It was like one of them had to give. I was, starting a new job as a resident advisor. I was trying to, still be invested in my other clubs. It was just a lot to juggle, and it wasn't realistic. So I was just like, okay, grades are the most important thing to me right now, and we'll just move this LSAT thing to be more of an over the summer kind of deal. And honestly, I'm really glad I chose that route, because I have this kind of golden opportunity right now. I mean, there's not a lot of upsides to this quarantine, except for the fact that I kind of have nothing else to do but to study. And my boredom is becoming so great that I think, I am horrible at focusing, and I'm horrible at not procrastinating, but I have derived more joy from being productive and just completing those tick marks on Canvas than I think I ever have. I used to hate online classes, and I still kind of do, but I don't know, school's just the only way I feel like I can be productive at all, besides filming. This just seems like a really good opportunity to start all of this, and honestly, it might have worked out for the best in that aspect, the timeline aspect. Yeah. I had originally ordered some books, and I was just,
I'm going to teach myself. I'm just going to go through the book. I'm going to dedicate certain hours on the weekend to doing this LSAT prep, and I'm going to be fine.
I didn't really take into account my learning style and just my general academic tendencies. I am pretty good in a class that has, enough freedom for me to not feel like I'm doing busy work or work that doesn't matter, but that keeps me accountable, and has deadlines. So being in a class is something that I realized I needed, not to mention the fact that, me reading something does not equate to me understanding it. I kind of need a mix of everything. I really prefer audiovisual learning. I love lecturing, good lecturers, not that 200-year-old professor who does not change the tone of his voice the entire lecture, but people that are good at lecturing. And I really respond to verbal learning. And if I don't understand something verbally, then I want to see a visual, not a paragraph full of dense words, especially if, the learning I'm doing is to break down dense paragraphs, if I was good at reading super dense, thick books with paragraphs and learning from it quickly and accurately, I wouldn't need to take the LSAT, in my opinion. Not take the LSAT. I wouldn't need to prepare for the LSAT, you know? Like, I don't know. It wasn't a learning style that was benefiting me. So I'm still going to use the books as like supplemental learning because I feel like it's really valuable to have lots of practice options, because especially with how my timeline is going, and I'll explain that later, I am going to have probably a solid month before I take the LSAT where I'm going to need to be taking practice tests and um, going through different, logic games and reading comprehension paragraphs just to like keep up my skills. Is really important for me for the instruction to be done enough ahead of time that I don't feel stressed, or I can go back over things that I didn't understand necessarily in the course super well. But ultimately, I was like, I need to take a course. I need teaching. I need structure. I need accountability. And honestly, part of that is like having money invested into a course, like I have a very complicated relationship with spending money on myself or for academic purposes, but I really do believe that I am much more accountable for things that I've invested in monetarily, because I'm like, I put money into that, I am not gonna let it go to waste. I'm going to make the most of it. So that's just how I feel about that. But I also didn't want to break the bank. I didn't want to break the bank on this one. In my opinion, like, I just don't understand why it's so expensive to get into law school anyway. If we're supposed to have a diverse justice system, don't get me started. But I just realized that, sorry, my notebook is shuffling. I just realized that I wanted some money invested in it, but obviously, like, I had already bought a book. I had already spent something on this already. The LSAT fee itself is a pretty penny. I was looking at those Kaplan, like, LSAT courses, the ones that everyone's, like, I've heard so many, like, how to prep for the LSAT philosophies, and everyone has such strong opinions either way. They're like, oh, you need a book or you're not going to pass. Oh, you need a Kaplan prep course or you're not going to pass. And honestly, it was all a little bit overwhelming. And I was like, I just need to block out the hate, like, not block out the hate. I need to block out all of these extra voices because they're not me. They don't know how I learn and they don't know what I need. And so I kind of went with a mix of both. I think having the book, having the ability to just independently go over a subject and always have like another version, like another perspective is nice, and to have that kind of independence is also nice. But I mean, I've already laid out why I really want a course. I was not going to go invest in a Kaplan course because I was looking at those prices and they're ridiculous. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars for what is essentially an online prep course. And when I was looking at them, it was still possible to do courses in person. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. But I mean, the time you would spend doing them was kind of ridiculous. Like, I understand that the tests are, longer than an SAT. They're long, they're hard, and it's, a grueling process. But I didn't understand why the prep courses were like 5 hours long per session. That makes no sense to me. That's like half a day of like high school. And honestly, as a college student who goes to like 50-minute to an hour and 30-minute classes, like, I do like 2 classes a day and they're on like morning and afternoon. I don't have that kind of attention span, and I'm gonna build up the attention span to take the tests through like the practice tests. But I mean, I don't know, it seemed really harsh. But what I did end up doing, and honestly, like, tip number 1, I think that this is really good, and it was a tip that I'm glad that I figured out. I actually got this from another friend of mine who is also doing a prep course, and we're both juniors. We're both political science majors. We both want to be lawyers, so I'm really glad that she suggested this to me. She actually went onto our university's continuing education page, and I highly encourage any of you who go to a university to go check out like your university's continuing education page or something of the like, you know, because there are so many courses on there for people who are either trying to go to grad school or, you know, law school or med school or anything like that. And they're really discounted prices, which I was really, really happy with. So I was able to get a 2-part course that probably would have cost me thousands of dollars if it had been through like Kaplan or something like that. And I was able to get it for like $250. And that was a game changer for me because honestly, I mean, I just feel like it's gonna be really great. Now, I could be proven wrong in this process. If I, you know, really hate the course, I will certainly let you know. But it is just nice to know that like I'm getting quality instruction, but I'm not gonna have to like sell an arm or a leg for it. But yeah, I go to UNC Charlotte in the UNC system, and honestly, like, it's an online course. Anyone, anywhere, I'm pretty sure can take it. So like, I think that especially like your local university, just go on their website, see what they have, because they probably have a lot of good resources. I have used my university's resources to the very fullest because I'm paying that tuition and I want to get a lot out of it. I want to get the most that I can out of it because I've already paid for it. And honestly, this is one of the more useful things that UNCC has done for me. So yeah, I was very happy to have gotten the course. I've kind of already taken like a little look-see through like the overview and stuff. The first week seems a little superfluous. I think that's the word. Sorry. It seems a little unnecessary, to say the least. It's just about like, what is a law career? Of course I know what a law career is. Like, I'm taking the LSAT, aren't I? But the rest of it seems really good, and I honestly just need some instruction on like logic games, especially. Reading those first few questions, like doing practice questions on those. Like, I've done all the 3 types of questions, and let me tell you, logic concerns me. Reading comprehension is fine. Like, I may need a few tricks for that, you know, like test tricks, but I think it's just building up speed and accuracy. It's been so long since I took the SAT and the ACT, and I hated it so much. I don't like standardized testing. I am pretty good at testing in general, but standardized testing, like, I'm just so glad there's no math in this. I would, like, honestly, I really feel like my inability to do math is the reason I didn't get into most of the colleges I didn't get into, like all 2 of them, but it meant that my reach colleges were really out of reach. So I guess I'm gonna give you an overview of my materials. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I've seen the overview and everything. There's only 1 required book, and it makes me so mad because I got this book. It's like LSAC official, like 10 prep tests 52 through 61, and the one they needed me to get for this course was like the one after this book. I don't know, maybe I can put it right here, but like it's literally like this exact book but the sequel, and I'm just very upset about it. So that was like the only required thing, just so that I can like do the tests and like go over it with the class and stuff like that. But it, like, they're each 6 weeks. They are each 6-week I'm so sorry. They are each 6-week courses, and I decided to do April 15th as my start date for the first part and May 13th as the start date for my second one, because those were the 2 dates that were next to each other. And I didn't want to wait like half a month before starting part 2. That seemed ridiculous to me, especially if I want to have time between the May 13th start date and my LSAT date. I'm gonna push through because like I think that it's just gonna be like 4 weeks of instruction and then 2 weeks of like final exams. So I'd much rather just like take the final exams at the first part of the 2 weeks and then anyway, yeah, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. I'm gonna have an assignment like I think every like Wednesday and every Friday that they put out, and then I just complete the assignments. And I'm excited about that because that's kind of how Canvas has been working for me, and I found that I actually do like that. Just like, okay, here's your assignment, go do it, and you're done. Here's my supplemental book. This is like originally just gonna be all that I used, but I just realized that it's a lot of self-accountability that I don't have. So this is what this is. So it's the LSAT trainer, and I started reading it and I was really impressed with how they explained everything. They really do a good job of, you know, making everything seem a lot easier, a lot less confusing than I think the test tries to make it. So, I mean, if you're more self-disciplined than me, I highly recommend it. I just didn't think I could learn the entire curriculum. I think this is just it's just going to be what I go back to if something in the course really doesn't make sense. Or if I just really want to practice certain skills, like isolated skills, I'll go through that. And I still think this is going to be useful. If not, I'll just sell it back like through Amazon because I haven't touched it. But I think it'll be useful to just like isolate certain sections, go through the tests so that I can build up a stamina and stuff, because honestly, I'm gonna be taking so many tests. That's my current plan. Those are my current materials. And I don't know, I'm very excited about it. I guess I should tell you all about my timeline. My timeline is, you know, I'm starting on April 15th, obviously. And my LSAT date, I'm going to try for July 13th to take the LSAT. I know that for these current LSAT dates, for the April LSATs, they are doing them online. That's not the worst thing ever. Honestly, it might even be preferable. I don't know. But I don't know. I honestly don't know what things are going to look like in July, but I want to try for that at least, because I think if something goes horribly wrong in July, I still have time in like September or October to retake it. It would not be ideal, but it's the timeline we have right now. So, because that's the thing, you also have to think about if you are going to retake it, I can't just wait like a month. You know, I have to go back and learn what went wrong and I have to fix it. So I'm trying to build that into my timeline here. I don't know I'm pretty much going to play it by ear as to how much I check in and, you know, how much you guys want me to check in. Right now I'm thinking of doing like first week, first month. That'll pretty much give you like, this is my first impression of the course. This is I finished the first part of the course kind of deal. And honestly, if I feel like there's something to say in between there, maybe I'll say it. I definitely want to do like, you know, study with me's, plan with me's, regarding all this. I think that would be fun. I think it'd be fun to just go on like a quarantine LSAT prep journey together. And I guess I want to talk about like motivation and, you know, fighting like perfectionism, because that's the thing. I am so much of a perfectionist, and I think a lot of people misunderstand that like perfectionism means that I will not start something because I am so afraid of it not being good enough or not being perfect. So, you know, we're going to be dealing with that. You know, maintaining good mental health while you're prepping for this, because I don't know, this isn't med school, but I feel like so many students just have such bad like mental health habits where they just don't eat, they don't sleep, they, you know, they just stress themselves out over stuff that's not worth stressing out over. And I definitely fall into the stressing out category for sure. We're going to talk about, you know, failing and getting back up again and how to improve on skills that you feel like you're never going to get better at, where we're going to dive into all of it. Because honestly, I feel like just talking about like, oh, I did these problem sets today, they went all right. Like, I don't know, I want to go into the how and the why I'm doing this, and the how and the why I'm struggling, and the how and the why I'm doing well, you know, because I feel like that's going to help you guys more than anything else. Because I don't know if I'm an expert on the LSAT yet, but I do know that uh, I know what my tendencies are as a student, and I know that I hate standardized testing. So, you know, if you feel the same, we are in the same boat. We're all in this together, all that great stuff. So, I'm very excited to start this. I hope that it's going to make me more accountable. I hope that, you know, it's going to make me feel less like someone who's just sitting alone doing an online course and reading a book and hoping that they don't fail their LSAT. Hope it's going to build some sort of community of something, or at least be fun to look back on and be like, oh man, remember that? You know, hopefully when I'm a lawyer, I can look back on this and laugh at how daunting I thought this whole process was. Or maybe I'll just look at myself and I'll be like, yeah, girl got it right. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and please stay tuned for the next one. I post every Friday. If I post more, you'll get a notification. But if you want to get those notifications, you know what to do. You've been here before. So, happy LSAT studying, honestly. And this was episode 1 of the LSAT Diaries. Peace out.